Hello, my name is Ioannis. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a software application by using Visual Basics. Now, this software application will have two forms. A login form to allow me to securely access the main software application, which basically is a storage. Now, is a storage space, is a one-on-one flow. I want to make sure that the storage space that I've got available I can actually sell or rent, and the storage that is not available, I don't want to basically double book the current storage that I've got. So this is the entrance of this place, and these are the rooms that I would like to rent as a storage. So I've used Microsoft Word for the design, as you can see. Basically what I did, I went to insert and then shapes, and I started with a rectangle, and I created this rectangle, this box. Now then I went to formatting, and I basically made this box, okay? I made this box, this option, this just the outline. Then I used this line tool and click and drag lines by holding the shift key down to make sure that the lines are straight. As you can see, if I hold the shift key down, the line doesn't go anywhere. So it's nice and straight. If I release the shift key, the lines go a bit all over the place. If I hold the shift key down, the lines are nice and straight. Then what I did, I selected a color that I'm happy with, and then I went to shapes, and then I've selected a bit wider line. Let's use that. I think I've used that one here. Then by holding the control key down, I went click and dragged and basically created the extra lines, and by doing this I've created these little boxes here. As you can see, there are individual lines by clicking and dragging. So basically by following this strategy, I've created a little map that I'm gonna now print screen. So let's select this option here. Let's put it further down. This will do. Then I'm gonna print screen this now, and I'm going to paint. I'm going to scroll down until I found this little handler and try to make the picture frame smaller. And then I'm going to Control and V to paste. As you can see, I have pasted the picture. Let's maximize this. And then I'm going to use the select tool and click and drag to select this box. Once it's selected, I'm just going to move further up and to the left. So I can actually place it to the top left corner. This will do. Then I'm going to scroll to the right, all the way to the right, and then I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then click here once. Let's deselect the selection tool. Deselect. And I will be able to see this little handler here on the bottom right corner. I'm going to click and drag it to reduce the size. And that's how I created my little map, by using Microsoft Word and Paint. Now, obviously, you can use Illustrator and Photoshop, but try to use tools that is most likely everyone have. I'm going to go to File and Save As now. I'm going to go to my images. I've saved it before. Let's make sure. Let's delete that one. I've made a typo as well. And I'm just going to call it flow, first flow. Now, if you have multiple floors, obviously you go back to the Word document. If I hold the Control key down to zoom out, if you have multiple floors, what you do, you select this and you select all the lines, or you select the rectangle and the title, then hold the Control key down, and you're creating some more floors. So you can say here, let's type here second. hold the shift key down, and by clicking and dragging and holding the control key down, I can create another copy and call it third floor. And so on and so forth. And then you can have multiple floors here, and you can actually use these lines here to replicate them and reposition each floor individually. Then you can actually put this onto Paint, and by using print screen, and then go to File and Save As for the image. Okay, let's go now to Visual Studio, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new Visual Basic project, and I'm going to call it, it's going to be Visual Basic Project Windows Form Application, and I'm going to call it Storage Rooms. I'm going to browse my desktop, and I'm just going to create a new folder for this project, call it Storage Rooms. Click Select and click OK. Now I'm just going to name my form as Storage Rooms. And I'm just going to rename it here. Right click, rename, FRM, Storage Rooms. Press the Enter key. Yes. Now, the first thing I need to do is add the map of the room. So I'm going to add a picture box. Let's put it there. This will do. I'm going to click on the little play icon, choose image, click import, click desktop, pictures. Let's select the first floor, click OK, and I'm going to stretch this image. Okay. So now I'm going to put a number of buttons. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 storage spaces. So I'm going to add a button, 12 buttons. So I'm just going to click and drag here, and I'm going to call this room 1. So let's go here, the text, room 1. And I'm going to call this button as BTN room 1. Let's make it a bit slightly smaller. This will do. I'm going to hold the control and the shift key down. In fact, I'm just going to call the control key down. We need 12. I'm going to hold the shift key down to highlight them both. Hold the control key down to replicate. Going to hold the shift key down to highlight this, hold the control key down to replicate, and one more time hold the control key to replicate. So I've got my 12 rooms. Just need to name them appropriately now. So room 2, room 3, room 4, room 5, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I'm just going to name the button. So I've named this already, BTN room 1. I'm just going to copy this, Control C to copy, and I'm going to call this room 2, BTN room 2, Control V to paste, room 3, Control V to paste, 4, Control V to paste 5. As you can see, I'll save a bit of time by actually Control V and paste what I've copied before of the first one. So BTN 7, that one. BTN 8. BTN 9. BTN 10. BTN 11. And BTN 12. That one's not showing, so I'm just going to increase the size. So I'm going to Control Z. I'm just going to make sure all the buttons are highlighted and increase all together, increase a little bit the width so I can display all the information. I'm also going to change the background color to yellow just to stick to the theme. Let's say, is it gold? Let's try orange. No, too orangey. Let's try gold. Yeah, gold will do. I'm just gonna change the color will change anyway. I'm just gonna change this to the font. Let's make the font 10, and I'm just gonna change it to bold equals true, and increase the width a little bit. This will do. Okay. Now, what I need to do, obviously these colors will change to red. Red will be free, and green will be free, and red will be occupied. You'll already be rented out. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add buttons on top of these sections here. Let's make it slightly smaller. Use the arrow keys to move them around. Okay, this will do. In fact, yeah. And I'm going to change the background color again. I'll make it yellow. Again, this will change, gold, sorry. And I'm going to make the font to 10. And change the bold to true, and I'm going to change the value to 1, and I'll change the names in a minute. So I'm going to hold the Control key down to replicate this. Use the arrow key a little bit to put it further down. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and then Control and drag to replicate, and then use the arrows here. Is it? Oops. Control Z to undo. As you can see, the rooms are not straight, the right sizes. Just gonna put this there. Okay. Go hold the Control key down, and then hold the Control key down. This will do. Then I'm going to hold the Control key down, go to the other side, and click and drag. And then I'm going to hold the Control key down, and then hold the Control key down, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, and click and drag. Again, you can spend more time to actually make the sizes the right sizes. It's up to you. So now I'm going to change the rooms. So here it's going to be 2. Let's go there. Let's type here 2. This will be 3. This will be 4. This will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I've got my rooms. Okay. The next thing I need to do here is go to my project, go to settings, and I need to create the settings for all the rooms. So I'm just going to call it room 1. Just going to copy this. Room 2, Control V 3, Control V 4. So I'll just copy before the word room. 5, Control V 6, Control V 7, Control V 8, Control V 9, Control V 10, Control V11, and Control V12. Now, I don't want to store string, I want to store color. So I'm just going to change all of these to color. System drawing color. System drawing color. System drawing color. System drawing color. And so on and so forth. Apply the same ones. Okay, so by default, we're gonna make it red. So let's make them red. So actually, by default, we'll make them green. They're available. Green. Green. And Control C to copy and paste. It's going to be quicker. Control V to paste. 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 So by default will be green. So I finished now with the settings. Let's close this. Yes. I'm going to go here now, and the first thing I need to do is when somebody loads the form. So I'm just going to double click here on the form. So on the form load, what I want to happen is I want basically my buttons, all these buttons, to be colored green. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call it BTN. In fact, I have not changed the names here. I've changed the names here. I've called them BTN room 2, but I don't think I've changed that ones. Yeah, I have not changed them. So I'm just going to call it BTN R1, because the other one is room 1. So I'm just going to call them R. So BTN R2, R3. I'm just sticking with the names. I'm just replacing the word BTN. Control V to paste, highlighting the word button. Control V to paste. Control V to paste. Let's delete that. Control V to paste. That's actually number 7. That's number 8. That's number 9. Number 10. Number 11. Number 12. Okay, so BTN R12 is the actual room. The actual button here is called BTN room 12. Okay, so here I'm going to say BTN R1 dot back color is equals to my settings, my dot settings dot room 1. So basically the color of this button, the back color of this button, is stored onto my settings room 1. So settings room 1 and is green. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And I'm just going to change that to room 1 for the other button. So R1 and room 1. So if I go here, That's room 1, btn room 1, and this is btn r1. And by default, when the form loads, that's what I say, when the form loads, I want these buttons, the colors of the buttons, to be changed to whatever color is on my settings. And by default is green. Okay, I'm going to follow the same process. I'm just going to copy these two, press the enter key a few times. I've got 12 buttons, so I've got 3 sets, 4th, 5th set, 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what I need to do here, I'm just going to start with the 12 because it's easy. I'm just going to add another 2 here. Then that one will be 11. This will be 10. This will be 9. This will be 8. This will be 7. This will be 6. This will be 5. This will be 4. This will be 3. And this will be 2. Now, I need to change this now. So this is room 2. This is room 3. So a bit of repetition here. 3. This is 4. This is 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Okay, I've done this. Leave the gaps, little bit gaps there to just break it down the code. So I'm just going to put here some programmer's comments. And I'm just going to put single quote, a couple single quotes. This, I'm just going to put on form load, add the change the color of the buttons to what the buttons to the color of the settings. And I'm just going to put start. I'm just going to copy these comments, put them there, and then put end. Again, you don't have to put these comments, but it makes things easier for you in the long run. Okay, now I've done this. The next thing I need to do is create a list of variables, not the form load though. I'm just going to skip line after the form load and sub, and I'm going to create a number of variables. So I'm going to create the first variable is dim my count, my counter, let's call it room 1 as integer. I'm going to copy this now 12 times, so 12 variables, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I've got my variables now. They're all integers here. So now what I need to do, I need to go to my design view. I'm going to double click on the first button on the first room, and I'm going to say, in fact, I'm just going to put some programmer's comments first. Room 1 code starts. Okay. And I'm just going to highlight this. Oops. Copy and paste it here. I'm just going to type here end. The code ends. So I'll show you why I've done that in a minute. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is set my counter. My counter for room 1 is equals to 1. Plus equals 1. So I want to add another value to this variable. And let's remove the equals here. So as soon as you click on this button, we add in another value here. And now I'm just going to create an if statement because I want to create a toggle button. Now, if you're not sure about toggle buttons, you can refer to my previous tutorial as well, where I explain how to create a toggle button. But again, this video tutorial will help you to understand how toggle buttons can be applied and by using Visual Basics and how they work on a real life project like the one I create now. I'm going to create an if statement. I will say if my counter room 1 is equals 1, then press the enter key. Okay, then I want something to happen. What I want to happen is my dot settings dot room 1 is equals to color dot green. So by default, yeah, will be green. If I click once, it's going to be, in fact, it's going to be red, no green. So this means it will be occupied. And then I will say btn, let's copy these colors here, this here, and paste it there. And I will say btn r1 back color equals my settings for room 1, and btn room 1 dot back color equals my settings room 1. Then I will make sure that I'm saving the settings. So my dot settings dot save. So if the application closes, the settings will be saved. So when you reopen the application, it will remember the settings. Anyway, and the if statement. Now I'm going to copy this code, this if statement. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to say if it's 2, I want the color to be green and the buttons to be showing the whatever saved. So basically green. And I'm going to create another if statement, and I will say if it's 3, sorry, if it's 2, no, if it's 3 this time, sorry, I want to change it back to green. In fact, what I'm going to do, if it's 3, it's going to go back to the original position anyway. So if it's 3, I want my counter, so and then save it. I want my counter, yeah, in fact I don't want to save the settings. Yeah, I want to save the settings. So I'm going to type my counter room 1 is equals to 0. So I'm resetting my counter. Let's find out how this works. So I'm going to click start. I'm going to click here on room 1. So by default, I've got green. So I'm going to click on room 1. So that's good. It's red now. It's occupied. If I click again, should be green again. If I click again, okay. If I click again, all right. That's not good. Sometimes I have to do double clicking here. All right. So I need to increase the if statements here. So I will say if is 3, then I'm just going to copy this again. Paste it there. I want to be red again. And if it's 4, so then I'm going to copy and paste this. If it's 4, I want the counter. Let's delete this. I want my counter to be, my counter for room 1 to be equals to 0. I'm resetting my counter and save the settings. So let's try now. So it's green, I click once is red, I click once is green, I click once is red, I click once is okay. It's not doing it. I have to click a few times. So let's have a look. So by default is green. So once I click here is red. Then if I click again here is green. Then I click here is red. And then I click here is green. Let's reset the counter here. But I'm still gonna make it green. I'm just gonna copy paste this here. Let's try again. I click once is red, I click once is green, I click once is red, I click once is green, I click one is red, I click once is green. Okay, now it's working. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So basically the lights here, the buttons here is corresponding to occupied places. Right, now I'm happy with this, and that's why I put the programmer's comments earlier. I'm gonna copy and paste now this number of if statements. So from the room 1 code starts to the room 1 code ends. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to apply this, the same code, to the rest of the buttons. So I'm going to double click here to the room 2, Control V to paste. I'm just going to change this to room 2, and anything that has room 1 here, I'll change it to room 2, room 2, room 2. Okay, room 2, room 2. Again, it will take your time. Make sure you change all the rooms to room 2. Okay, I finished with this if statement. I'm gonna go now to this if statement. Trust me, if you miss something out, don't worry. When you debug it and it doesn't work, it will flag it for you, so you can go back and fix it, just in case you miss something out, because you will probably miss something already. It's quite a bit late now, 12:30 in the morning. In the morning, when people go to bed, here creating rooms for people. Okay, it's all about having fun. Okay, so room 2, room 2, room 2, perfect, and change that to room 2. So basically what I did, I've created, copy and paste the code from room 1 to room 2, and I'm going to continue doing this to the rest of the rooms. So let's test room 2 first. Room 2, click, okay, red. Room 2, click, green. Room 2, click again, 2, red. Click, 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 click. So it's working. So all the other rooms don't work at the moment. So what I will do, I'll do one more here. Then I'm just going to pause the recording because I don't want you to bore you to death. And you can actually do it yourself. And I'm going to show you how the end product looks like. So I'm just going to show you one more time. I'm just going to highlight the room 2 from the code starts to the code ends. Okay, I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to go to the room 3 button. Control V to paste. That's my room 3. And I'm just going to change the anything to do with room 2 to room 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and so on and so forth. 3, 3. Make sure you're not changing the variable here. We only changing the rooms to 3, from 2 to 3, and that one 3. 3. Some people find this a bit boring, a bit repetitive, but the end product looks good and you can make quite a lot of money because of that. People with hotels can actually follow this video. Also people who have storage spaces, so they rent these storage spaces that can actually create the software application without actually paying a developer, or developers can actually use this and make some money by selling the software application to developers. You can buy me a coffee if you like. If you generate enough money, you can always send a little coffee to my office. Okay, I've got it now. 3 is done. I'm going to debug that, and I'm going to click 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, as you can see, it's keep repeating, and it remembers my settings as well from before. Yeah, that's good. Close. All right, so I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to see you in a bit once I finished copy and pasting all the same code and just change the room number to the rest of the buttons. Okay, I finished doing it. Now I've managed to make sure that all the buttons now working, and all buttons corresponding to the first flow. So here I won't be able to see all the data here. So if I highlight this and just increase the width, this will do. Try to test it again. And again, you can always change the colors, to different colors. It's up to you. Okay. So if I close this, the next thing I need to do is create a new form. It will be the login form. So I'm just going to go to Project, Add Windows Form. And I'm just going to call it FRM login.vb. And this form will have 2 labels. I can always put a picture box here as well. So I'm just going to have a button, and this button will have the value of the text value will be login, and the actual name is going to be btn login. Okay, let's place it here. I need a username and password. So text boxes, text box there. Let's put it further up here. And I'm going to hold the control key down to replicate this. And I'm going to put a couple labels as well. and I'm going to hold the control key down to replicate. So this will be LBL user name. This will be LBL password. This will be TXT username. This will be TXT password. And the value of the first label, the text value, will be username, name, and the next one is going to be password. I'm going to hold the shift key down to select both labels, and let's change the font. I'm just going to make the font, let's change that to false. Let's make the font, the bold value, oops, set it to true. Change the font size to 12. And I'm just going to push this further down. Hold these two and make the text value to 12 as well. Let's bring this further down a little bit. Okay, now this value, the password value, will be password, so I'm just going to change the password character. So if we scroll down, password char there, just going to put an asterisk here, so when they start typing they won't be able to see the password. And I'm just going to double click now on the login page, and I will say if txt password username, sorry, dot text, oops, dot text equals, then I will say my user name. This is based on what the client requests, and then I will say and txt password dot text equals, and then I will say wherever my password. So as you can see, I put capital M, capital U, capital M, capital P. If that's true, then I want to me dot, there's something here, I've deleted something here before, handler. Let's copy this and let's Control Z. I accidentally deleted something. Yes, all right. So let's go back here, double click on the button. All right, Control V to paste. Okay, so me, let's go backspace, then me dot hide, and then I will want to show the other form, which is the FRM storage rooms, FRM storage rooms dot show. Then I want to also reset the username and the password, so then I will say txt password dot text. Is that txt password? Yeah, dot text is equals to nothing, and txt username dot text equals to nothing. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and on the storage, and I'm just going to put a button which will say logout. Let's call it logout, and the name of the button will be btn log out. And when somebody clicks on the logout button, I want to me.hide, and I want to show frm login.show. So when I'm showing back the login form, I do not want the username and password to still be displayed, so that's why I'm resetting the login details. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is go to my project, go to application, and make sure that the very first form that loads is the login form. As you can see here, I don't want the storage form to load, I want the login form to load. Okay, I'm gonna click start, and I'm gonna put the username, so my username, and I'm gonna put my password, my password. For some reason didn't register the password key. I'll sort it out in a second. Click submit. All right, so as you can see here, the settings remembered, and log out. Okay, so let's fix a little bit this. So the logout button needs to be a bit taller here so I can display everything. Also, I'm gonna change the background color to gold web, and select gold. Let's by default, let's change this to green, because the actual green by default. Let's find green, and that one's here as well, green. I'm going to hold the shift key down to deselect the picture box. Let's change the background color to green. That's better. Okay, let's make this bold as well. So font and bold. Change this to true. Okay, so far so good. Let's put a nice icon as well. So I'm just gonna go to icon finder and click on it, and then I'm just I'll select that one. Okay, so download PNG. In fact, I need to find another one. Copy this. And go to the desktop, go to my project, storage rooms, paste it. Just gonna go to the icon finder, icon creator. No, that one. Icon creator converter, icon converter it's called. So I'm gonna choose the file, storage rooms, upload. I'm gonna now convert to icon and click download. Okay, I'm gonna show you folder. So I've got the icon as well now. Oops, let's go back here, paste it. So I've got both now, the icon and the image. I'm gonna go back to my project, click on the form, scroll down or up until I find the ugly icon here, and replace it with desktop, storage rooms, my icon. So I've got my icon here, and I also need my icon on the login page. Let's find the ugly icon. There it is. Okay, just gonna put this here, put a picture box here as well to apply the picture, the logo. Browse, choose image, import the picture here, and I'm going to make sure it's stretched. This will do. And I'm going to go back here. Storage rooms. In fact, no, it's okay. I don't need the logo here. Right, okay. Finally, I'm going to go to my project and find the icon here and browse. Storage rooms and the icon. So I've got the icon on the project. Excuse me, and I'm going to save now my project. Go to build, publish storage rooms. I'm just going to browse my desktop and storage rooms. Click open and click finished. Okay, the project is finished. I'm just going to close my project now. Yes. And I'm going to double click the executable file, so the setup file, and install. Okay, the software now is loaded. Oh, I forgot to do this. Yes, I forgot to do the password. Let's uninstall it. Let's uninstall storage. That's what happens when you're rushing. We have to do it properly. Storage rooms. Uninstall. Okay. So let's go to the main files. Open the application. Storage rooms. Let's protect the password by putting a little asterisk. So if we go to the login form view, design view, so I'm going to select this text box and scroll down to password char. There it is, and put the asterisk and enter. So this time we'll remember it. Let's try now. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to save it, and let's delete these two and these application files, and let's reproduce them. So build, publish, and in fact I'm just going to create a special folder for this to have everything in one location. My app, storage rooms, open, finished. Okay, done. I'm just going to close the project now. Yes, and I'm going to install it again. So setup, install, close everything now. Okay, so that's the software. So if I close it, now it's installed. I can go here, storage rooms. I can open the software and I can say my username, and for the password is my password. Click login, and let's increase the size here. Okay, so room 1 is occupied, room 8 is occupied. Let's occupy them all. Okay, we sold out. All the rooms are occupied. So we can log out and close the application. So the next day we can come back, run the software. Let's put the user and password. So my username, my password. Let's click login. As you can see, all the rooms are occupied from yesterday. So let's say, for instance, this room is free now, this room is free, and this room is free. So I've got 3 free rooms, 4, 7, and 10. Log out and close. The next day we come along again, storage. Let's put here my username, my password. Click login. As you can see, 4, 7, and 10 is free, and then we can actually occupy them again. So that's how you create a simple software application which allows you to basically select and deselect rooms when they're occupied or when they are free. Now you can use the software application for anything, for a hotel, for storage spaces, for car parks, etc., etc. So thank you very much for watching this video tutorial. Took a bit longer than I was expected, almost an hour, just short, a couple minutes short than an hour, but hopefully this 1 hour of your life is well spent, and you can make a bit of money by using these techniques. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.